August flew by for me, which I knew it would because, as you guys know, I got married this month, and I really wanted to do a favorites video for August because I had so much fun doing one for June for the first time in a really long time. But I was trying to think of like what my favorites were for August, and they were all wedding related because that's basically the only thing I focused any time and attention on this month. So instead of doing an August favorites, I'm going to be doing a wedding favorites this month, and I'm just going to share a handful of things from my day, details about like my jewelry or my makeup or just little things that I loved that I wore on the day or included in the day. So first up are the hairpins that I wore on the day. When I decided on my hairstyle, which was down with like one side twisted back, I knew that I wanted to wear some hairpins in it, and I found these on the Etsy shop USA Bride. I will link it down below. Compared with other bridal hairpins that I looked at, these were so affordable. I believe I paid $14 per pin for these, which in comparison, I looked at hairpins at bridal shops and they had sets of 3 for like $250 or $300. Like, they were so expensive, and I knew that I did not want to spend that much money on hairpins. So when I found this shop on Etsy and they had so many cute options, I knew that that's what I was going to go with. Speaking of accessories, if you watched my wedding Q&A video, I will link it down below if you haven't seen it yet, I mentioned that I got my earrings for an absolute bargain. These are the earrings that I wore on my wedding day, and I found them on Amazon for $14. And they are so pretty. Like, they are sparkly and they're well made. They don't feel cheapy or like a stone's about to fall out. Like, honestly, if I had seen these in a bridal shop for $100, I wouldn't have thought anything about it. I would be like, yep, those look like $100 earrings. These will also be linked down below if you don't want to break the bank on your bridal earrings, because I kind of struggled with that because I never wear like fancy earrings like this for anything else. Like, I don't even know if I would wear these to somebody else's wedding, like another big event. So the idea of spending a ton of money on a pair of earrings I would really only wear once, I just didn't want to do that. So this worked out really well. Let's talk about shoes. One of the dilemmas that I had when I was picking out the final details of my bridal look was whether or not to go with like very fancy bridal shoes, something with like rhinestones or sequins or something sparkly and fancy that I would probably only wear once, or to go with something more neutral and plain that I could wear again. I took your guys' advice on Instagram and I went with something plain. So these are the Cupcakes and Cashmere. I believe it's the Myri heel, the Myri sandal, in just the plain nude color. I also liked that it had kind of a periwinkle blue lining here for like a something blue. This heel also comes in kind of a periwinkle baby blue suede color. I ordered both colors, the nude and the blue, when I was trying to decide because I thought, ooh, maybe like some light blue heels would be cool. These heels were so comfortable, I didn't even think about my feet until probably 9:30 p.m. Like, I thought that I was going to get to my reception and my feet would be hurting and I'd want to change into my sandals, because that's what I'd heard from every other bride, is your feet are really going to start hurting early in the night. And I don't know if I was just like high on the day and had so much adrenaline going through me, but I did not think about my feet once. I didn't break these shoes in at all, and I had no blisters, no sore spots. Like, they just were perfect. And I love now that I have a comfy, nice pair of nude heels that I can break back out and maybe wear on anniversaries or dates, is kind of like wearing something from my wedding day again and getting to feel like I'm wearing a special piece. My next wedding favorite is a piece of art. I think you would consider this decor. It's the table names that we used at our reception, and we decided to do an around the world theme for our table names, and we named each table after a city that we've been to together. So we had cards made for each table and they sat in little gold stands, and each card had a photo of us from that location on the front, and then on the back we had a little story about something that happened on that trip. This was actually really easy and really inexpensive to do because I just went on Zazzle, and if you go to there, I think it's you design your own invitation or design your own, I'll link it down below, the exact listing that I used. But there's like a create your own option, so you can just go in and upload your own photo to the front and back of a card, and it'll try to, like, the default quantity is like 50 because it thinks you're ordering invitations or something that you would need in bulk, but just change the quantity to 1 and add that to your cart, and then go back to the listing and upload a new photo on each side and add that to your cart. I think it was like $1.50 per card to do it. And so what I did is I actually went into Photoshop and I made all of these as images, like the text is part of the image all in Photoshop. So it was just a file I had to upload to the front and then a file of text that I had to upload to the back. And then our seating chart sign said, "Where in the world are you sitting?" with a map. And then it had like all the different names of the cities and everyone's names under the city that they were sitting at. And then once dinner was over, people got to get up and walk around to other tables and like read the stories on every table. So it was fun and it was cheap to do. So speaking of weddings, one of the things that I've been trying to do this summer is soak in every ounce of wedding culture that I can, to just kind of soak in being a bride, watching my favorite wedding movies. And one of the things I've really enjoyed is Audible Escape, who is also sponsoring this video. Thanks, Audible. You guys know Audible. They are the place to go for audiobooks, and Audible Escape is their monthly subscription for love stories. I'm currently listening to The Substitute by Denise Grover Swank, which is about a woman who's supposed to be getting married within the week, and she and her fiance have actually broken up weeks ago, and she hasn't had the guts to tell everyone that the wedding is off yet. She's flying home to face everyone. She ends up meeting a handsome stranger on the plane, and due to a series of misunderstandings, he ends up stepping in as her fake fiance. It's been pretty cute so far. So get Audible Escape by going to audible.com/Allison Anderson, or you can text Allison Anderson to 500-500. Download the app so you can browse through all the titles, and your first month of unlimited listening is completely free with the trial, and then after that you still get unlimited listening for just $12.95 a month. My last few wedding favorites are beauty favorites, and the first one is this Essie nail polish. It's from the Treat, Love, and Color line, and the shade is In a Blush. This is the shade that I wore on my toes for my wedding day, and it's just a really nice light pink toned nude color, and this is actually what I was trying to color match for my nails. But when I went in to get my nails done, they did have something that looked exactly like this, and then they painted one coat and it was entirely sheer. So we ended up picking something that was a little more opaque, but it was also a little more cream. I think the name of the color was OPI in the Clouds, or Head in the Clouds, or something with the clouds. And it was more of like just a neutral eggshell color, like an off-white color. It wasn't very pink or yellow. For my lips on my wedding day, I knew that I didn't really want to wear much. I didn't want to wear a color really or anything, because I wanted to be able to kiss and drink and eat and not worry about things sliding around or color getting on my teeth. So I knew I wanted to go really, really simple. So what I ended up wearing was the NARS Afterglow Lip Balm in the shade Orgasm. This is just a really subtle, nice, shiny balm. There isn't a lot of color to it, but it did add some shine and hydration to my lips and kept them feeling nice and soft and comfortable throughout the day, but I didn't have to worry about it showing up on my teeth. Another big makeup favorite for me for my wedding day was the Benefit Hoola Bronzer. This was the perfect bronzer for the look that I was going for, because it's just a great color. It's matte, and I used this all over. So I used it kind of around my forehead, my cheekbones, under my jawline. I also used this as the crease color for my eyeshadow, which I would highly recommend if you're doing your own bridal makeup, is to use whatever bronzer you're using on your face also in the crease of your eye, because it just looks so natural. It looks like all of the contours of your face are the same color, so it goes together really nicely. I also used a little bit of this to contour my collarbones, to add a little bit of color to my chest area. It was just a perfect bronzing powder for the day. And then the last favorite I have for you guys today is the blush that I wore, because I loved the blush that I used on my wedding day and I got tons of compliments on it. It's from the NARS Lost in Luster palette that looks like this. And the name of the blush is called Crush. I don't know if this is sold individually or if it's just part of this palette, but I will do some Googling. I'll try to link something with it down below. It was a little bit on the brighter side, but I actually think that worked really well for my look because I had a spray tan. I didn't do anything too dramatic on the eyes or the lips. So having an extra little pop of color on the cheeks, I think, did amp up the look a little bit. I'm actually also wearing this on my cheeks right now, but just not quite as much as I wore on my wedding day because I don't have the spray tan anymore. So those are some wedding details, some things that I love this month. Like I said, I will have everything linked down below if you want to check them out. And if there's any details that you loved about your wedding day, let me know what they are down in a comment below. Thanks again to Audible for sponsoring this video. You can get unlimited love stories with audiobooks from Audible Escape by going to audible.com/Allison Anderson or texting Allison Anderson to 500-500. Download the app to browse through all the different titles. Your first month of unlimited listening is entirely free, and after that, it's still unlimited listening for just $12.95 a month. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.